Alright, we back on gaming. And let me say this right now, alright? You have to understand, my mentality today, okay, is a little different. Now, for those who don't understand what I'm talking about, not too long ago when I was putting together this video, I had said on Discord to a number of people, when I was putting the information together, I was very upset. I was pissed the fuck off. You know what I mean? I was going to go at it. And I said, maybe I need to take it down a couple notches before I decide to record. And then last night, I only got like an hour's sleep. I went to work earlier. I had to deal with guys getting punched in the face. And mind you, after this video, I got to go back. So you should understand where my mentality is right now. Okay? Because I'm coming on here to talk about a bunch of people bitching about a fucking video game. That's right. That's what we're going to talk about. So that's what we're starting off with. You know what? Today, you're going to see a lot of bullshit. Today, shots are going to be fired. Today, names are going to be called out. Today, proof will be shown. I'm tired of shit. There's no reason for me to come back and have to deal with this shit because people will be fucking stupid over and over and fucking over again. And yes, I'm going to start off with Shadows Die Twice because you can't tell me every time a From Software game comes out, here come the journalist to bitch and moan about this shit. Come on. You motherfuckers, you know what? I believe this. There needs to be a motherfucking count right here. Because this is going to be said a lot probably today. Motherfuckers, yeah. Just make a count for it, alright? I can't believe that you have gone so low as to what you've done that now you are sitting here and you're bitching and you're moaning that it needs an easy mode. And you're going to demand this from the developers. You're going to try to guilt trip them and say, do a service to the fans. No, the fans don't want this shit. You want this shit. It's amazing how these same journalists can sit here and say that us fans, we're entitled. Us paying customers, we're entitled. Hey man, we just want this fixed. We want you to deal with this because there's problems in your game. Clearly there's a bunch of glitches and everything that I paid for. Shut up, man, baby. You're just entitled and you have no idea. You should not be trying to tell developers how to do their job. And yet you turn around because you can't beat the fucking game. Now you're demanding them to make different options. See how that works? But it gets worse. That's right. Because these developers, not only are they asking for this, this easy mode. No, some of them are flat out coming out and saying they are scared to play this fucking game. What the fuck are you scared of, motherfucker? What are you scared of? It's a fucking video game. This is not, horror game. No, this is action adventure. Try to survive. What's the problem that you are so fucking scared? The fuck is a video game? These are from grown-ass men and women saying this shit. They're scared. They're scared. How about this? Don't play the fucking game. Don't play the game. Don't play it. Alright? Stop playing it. If you bought it, don't play it. I forgot. Some of you get free copies of this shit, and we'll talk about that in a minute, okay? But you've got to be kidding me that you're going to sit here and bitch and moan over a game. I'm too scared to play the game. You're a fucking bitch. When all of a sudden, our community, I shouldn't even say community, these gaming journalists, they just start bitching. Just bitching over nothing. Because that's what this is right now. That's what you're doing. Matter of fact, some of you have already thrown in the towel and saying, look, I'm not going to finish this game. Spoken like a person who has never had any hardship in their life. That you're going to let a video game tell you that you can't do something. You have no type of heart, do you? No type of perseverance. Look, From Software makes games that, especially in this generation, that have it's very well known that they're going to be challenging. But they believe in you. They're saying, look, this is challenging, but if you apply yourself, if you invest in yourself, if you believe in yourself, you can get over these obstacles. That is the entire point of these games. And for you to sit and bitch and say, I'm never going to finish this, or I'm scared of the fucking game, or I want an easy mode, it tells me that once again, you have never been through no shit in your life, and you always want the easy way out. That's what it tells me. So, from a community standpoint, from a gamer standpoint, I don't respect you at all. But you want me to read your article. No. Fuck you. Shut the fuck up. Stop your bitching and get better at playing the fucking game. Or as they would say, get good. But I forgot. You say that, that's an aggression. Oh my God, that should be banned. No, it's reality. And I say this because reality is you have to get better at everything in life if you want to succeed. All right? Your job. If you want to get better at your job, in order to get to succeed at your job, you have to get better. All right? In school, if you want better grades, you got to study harder. Everything comes down to working hard. Everything comes down to how much grit, how much do you have in here that says I'm not going to stop. Nothing's going to stop me. You don't have it in you. You're soft. That's what the fuck it is. And speaking of softness, okay? The co-founder of Rock, Paper, Shotgun actually admits that, look, I don't have the time to play this. I'm not going to invest my time in it. I'm not going to invest my time in it at all. Are you fucking kidding me? Now, this is where I have to go in detail, because I just gave you all a little bit of it. Look, when it comes to your job, because this is your job, you have to invest not only in the game. In order to get better at games, you have to invest time. For you to sit here and say, I'm not going to invest my time. I'm not doing this. This is bullshit. I'm not doing it. Are you serious? In order for you to be better at your job, in order for you to be good at your job, I should say, competent at your job, to make gamers like myself and say, okay, he went through this, and this is his gripes, this was his struggles, but he overcame it because that's what the game sets you up for. Don't tell me, oh, well, I just don't have the time for this, and I'm not going to do this because... And here's the thing. They're doing this because you got to think, these reviewers have a deadline. And because they can't beat the game, they're not going to make their fucking deadline. That's what it is. So they can write whatever the fuck they want to write and hope that you click on it. So what do? They sit and they make an article to bitch about it, go the other way, and still try to get those clicks. That's what they're doing. We have people who are co-founders of bullshit sites, and yes, Rock, Paper, Shotgun, you're a bullshit site. All right? But sitting there saying, I'm just not going to invest time into it. What's the point of playing it then? If you're not going to invest time into any game, what's the point of playing it? What's the point of you being in this community? What's the point of you being doing this job? That's your job. Play the game, review the game, and then write about it. If you can't do that, you should be out of a job. They'll find somebody who's more competent. That's how the world works. But it seems like the gaming industry, or even the gaming media, they play by their own special rules. If you haven't realized that by now. But it gets worse. That's right. Because of these excuses that have been said before, and people like myself, as you can see, are knocking them down one by one like fucking dominoes, now they want to try and use the excuse, well, what about the people that need accessibility? What about the disabled people? Yeah, because that's the angle they want to take now. That's the angle they want to take now. And I want you to see this because it's such bullshit that they're all of a sudden give a shit about, people who are disabled, and you want to try and run with that narrative and make it seem like they really fucking care. We all know they don't. Get the fuck out of here. Shut the fuck up. These motherfuckers, man, I swear to God, they make it all about themselves. But you know what? Gamers called them out on this shit. That's right, hard truth. Because this is what was said towards that person, Susie, what about the disabled people? And got body bagged quick. And that is fucking bang on. I say that because, think about it. No other time do we hear about them talk about the colorblind or the dyslexic or whatever. Accessible options for them. No. They never talk about this shit. They only bring this shit up when they suck at games and all of a sudden they need to use, because that's what they're doing. They're using the disabled, to make their case. You're using people. You're using disabled people. How fucking disgusting can you be? How low can you go? Over a fucking video game. This is what you're willing to do. To try and justify you sucking at a video game and wanting an easy mode. Or being scared of it. Or giving it a low rating. Or not spending the time to learn it. This is what you're willing to go to. Which is bullshit. But think about the disabled people. I find that funny. Because not too long ago, this happened. What's that? What's your excuse now? Huh? Huh? Shut the fuck up. See, this is what I mean. These people have not been through anything. And they're going to sit here and bitch and moan about a fucking video game. Some of them saying, oh, I'm suffering through this game. Suffering? Suffering? What was this? No. I'm not trying to hear suffering. You are not physically suffering. You are not mentally suffering. If the game is getting that bad for you, guess what? Turn that shit off and come back another day. You lose them, you fight another day. You lose, okay. You die, okay. Guess what? You're not dying in real life over it. I don't want to hear that you're suffering, okay? Y'all always make shit more dramatic than what it needs to be. I don't understand that. And this is why I said, what's happening now? What's going on? Why is everybody turned into a bunch of bitches? Why? Well, I don't have time to play this game. Well, if you don't have time to play the game, then that's it. See, what y'all could have said was, look, this just isn't the game for me. And washed your hands of it. You know what I mean? That's fine. That's okay to say. But for you to demand easy modes and be scared and use the disabled and say you don't have time for it, I'm hearing a lot of fucking excuses when you could be getting better at this game by simply grinding, listen, perseverance. I don't want to hear it. We have grown-ass men and women doing this. But guess what? Got a little video for y'all. Here's a child. That's right, a child playing this game, beating these bosses. It's amazing. Y'all got all excuses in the book, and this kid, all he did was get good. All he did was, dare I say, level up.
Holy shit!
I got him! Yes! 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 Yes!
Oh no, dude, he's got enough life! He's got 3 lives! You got...
Never turn back on an enemy!
Holy shit! Oh, that's awesome, my man.
That time. I didn't even have to resurrect.
I know.
Yes!
Right there, that's what I'm talking about. That's pure. That's fucking pure. It goes to show you that it takes a lot of time and investment to fight and learn. And of course, you heard him say, the biggest lesson out of all that video was, never turn your back on your enemy. You have to understand, when people say that they can't do it, or it's impossible, and I tell my fighters all the time, I grab them right by their headgear too. It's almost like football, you grab them by their face mask, by their headgear. And let them know, I don't want to hear the words can't or impossible. All right? I never want to hear those words. Because if you push yourself hard enough, if you have enough in you, enough character in you, you will make it happen. That's simple. And it's a good example. That kid sitting there and beating him. You see how happy he was? Did you see that? It's called risk, which is reward at the end. High risk, high reward. Because that's what it is. You're putting your character on the line, your life, technically, as a character, on the line. But when you win, look at the way the kid reacted when he thought he won at first. Look at the way he reacted. That's what you want from a game. That uphill battle that says, I can beat this no matter what. I don't care how long it takes. That's what you need. And these journalists, these so-called gamers that want to be respected, and they want to have all these followers, and they want to have their own gaming sites and all this, and then you see them and they pull this shit? No. No. I am so sick of seeing people who are in positions of authority or fame fuck up so much and yet still get a free pass. And I guess we should move on to our next topic. Because, yeah, that's a good segue. We should talk about one Tim Schafer. Now, for those who don't know, Tim Schafer not too long ago made some comments that were kind of obvious, and people praised him for it. Which I will not fucking praise him for. So, for those who did not see what he had said, this is what he said when he was at the podium not too long ago about white supremacy.
She did a great job hosting, and I want to stand in solidarity with her and everyone who mentioned it against the terrible Christchurch terror attacks, and I want to offer love and support to all the Muslims worldwide and in the game development community and here in this room. I want to say something that Just in case it's not clear that you're welcome here, I would like to say something that I hope I hope this isn't controversial, but fuck white supremacists. I think that's important, right? Yeah, great. Good. I think it's sad that racists and other hate peddlers feel safe in any space that's remotely connected to video games. And I think we all have an opportunity in our work and in our daily lives and our platforms, big and small, to make it absolutely clear that we do not tolerate any of that crap. And I think we can always do more and do as much of that as we can. And I'm sorry about the F-bomb. I'll try and keep that to a minimum. All the swearing, there's been enough.
You can slow down on the F-bomb if you want, but I'm not. Fuck you. You want to know why? Because this is bullshit. People understand. Everything he said, no one's going to sit here and disagree. Yeah, fuck white supremacy, blah, blah. They're obvious statements, okay? Everyone should be inclusive, and, I don't want you to feel, you're not welcome. And, of course, those things are common sense things. Anybody could have said those things, except Tim Schafer. You want to know why? Because I've seen so many people acting like seals. He said something great. Don't give him fucking praise and credit for saying the obvious. You don't do that, especially with his fucking past. For those who do not remember, the last time he was on fucking stage, guess what? He mocked minorities and sat here and called us sock puppets.
Visual art for games becomes more and more complex. Whole teams are required to create assets for games that historically were made by a single artist. These days, it could take up to 8 people to make a single piece of armor.
Oh! How many gamer gators does it take to make a single piece of armor?
Oh God, I don't know.
50. 1 to do the modeling, 1 to do the materials, and 40 to tweet that it's not your shield.
Okay. Again, I cannot be blamed for what the puppet says.
You really thought I was going to forget that shit, huh? And some of these people, I guess they feel they're going to forget because they have the attention span of a fucking goldfish, the memory of a fucking goldfish. But you have to understand, in this case, what Tim Schafer did before, because when us minorities spoke out and said, no, you're not going to use us for your agenda. Fuck you. All right? Because that's what they did. These middle to high class yuppies came out and tried to say, we're doing this for minorities who were oppressed. We can speak for ourselves. That's what we tried to tell you. We don't need you to speak for us. And when that happened, what'd you do? You made fun of us. You mocked us. Ha! You darkies can't speak for yourself. You're nothing but a bunch of sock puppets. All because we had a difference of opinion. All right? Didn't matter. See, for them, it's all about their narrative. If you agree with them, then it's cool. But if not, then you know what happens? Oh, then you are Uncle Tom, you this, you that, you are sexist, a supremacist, you're everything if you don't agree with them. Okay? That's what you are. But the fact that he would sit here and say, I have to say, we can speak for ourselves and we don't need you. That's the problem now. We want to speak for ourselves because we can. Nah, darky. You too stupid for that. Let me speak for you, all right? Because you know what? You're nothing but a bunch of sock puppets anyway. Don't worry about it. Oh, by the way, fuck white supremacy. See, I said it for you. Fuck white supremacy. You know what? Not only is that racism, that's kind of undercover supremacy because you want to control us. That's what that is. So as far as I'm concerned, when I saw that, and I'm seeing all these people under attack because it's not that they don't agree with Tim Schafer, it's who said it. And then you see these other black people just like, why do you have a problem with this? This is the fucking problem line. So 1 minute he can throw our asses under the bus, but then he can turn around and speak for us. So you want to use us for fucking clout. Speaking of fucking clout, here's the thing. Mind you, never apologize for it. Never. You're all invited and you're all inclusive and everyone should be in the gaming industry and you shouldn't have to worry about racism or sexism and all this. Oh, by the way, it's okay though when we do it. That's what they're telling you. If you don't see that as a fucking insult, these people are no different than those that they judge. Okay? That's simple. But it gets worse. Then mind you, that's just one jackass, all right, with Tim Schafer. So I don't buy into his bullshit, all right? A lot of people on Twitter, though, they bought into that shit in a minute. They praised him to the fucking moon, which to me is just like, you can't be that fucking stupid, given what he's done already in the past. You can't. How do you deny all these minorities are saying, yes, we're not your shield because we don't want you to use us for your agenda, for your narrative, so that you can get catapulted to a higher degree, but the rest of us, we see nothing from that. You're using us. So fuck you. We don't need you. We never did need you. But when I say that, especially in this tone, guess what? Oh, he's an angry black man. We can't have that shit. Oh, no. No, I can't listen to him because he's being too loud or he's being too aggressive. He always got an excuse on why they want to throw you down. Always got an excuse. So unless I'm like, yes, master, this is how I feel, I'm going to come get my comeuppance. Unless I act like that, then they okay. We've tried too long and too hard to try and bridge the gap. You know what I mean? And do it nicely, too. Excuse me, can we have a talk? Excuse me, can we have this debate? And then years and years go on. Now, we like, motherfucker, you gonna listen, we don't need you. And then, that's where it's gone now. And now they're gonna say, what's wrong with him? What's wrong with him? Oh, you can't take him seriously because the way he acting. Look at the way he's acting like stereotype. No! This is what you pushed us to. And then you have people who say, why don't they just understand? And it's not that they don't understand. They don't care to understand. And you know what? I'm going to show you another bit of proof of that. Because Microsoft, that's right, Xbox, apparently they own black people. That's right, they own black people. So let's see that tweet already. Mind you, never apologize for this shit. But this is what they tweeted out. Did y'all read that shit? At GDC 2019, our blacks in the Microsoft community. What the fuck you mean, our blacks? See, here's the thing. Horrible wording, all right? And you should have known better. And when people try to tell you that, look, this is fucked up how you worded this, you should apologize or take it down and reword it. Apologize, because guess what? You just pissed off a lot of black people. Microsoft was like, nah, we keeping this because when we type in it, we think this shit is hot. We gonna get the clout. We gonna get the likes. We gonna get the retweets. That's what they thought. They didn't give a shit. They didn't care how offensive it was. While they could have just straight out said, look, we want to celebrate minorities in gaming and their accomplishments here at Microsoft. No, they didn't go there, did they? Nah, our blacks, like they own some fucking slaves, like they own some fucking livestock. Our blacks, as opposed to other people's blacks. 2019. And there were still black people defending this shit. We get what you're trying to say, but this is messed up. Some of them said that, and it didn't matter. Some people was calling for the person who tweeted that, calling for their job, because they didn't think twice before putting that shit out there, which is true. But nah, like I said, no apology, no nothing. Now, mind you, we talked about this not too long ago. Remember that YouTube video with the blacks in gaming, women in gaming and all that. It's like, what the fuck is you doing? The fuck is wrong with you? And here it is, Microsoft still trying to play this. If anything, this makes me want to stay away from you, Microsoft. As a black man, this makes me want to stay away from you. Because you don't understand. Look, like I said, I've already explained how they could have said, we want to celebrate minorities in gaming. That makes you feel welcome. All right? That's what that does. When you say, well, look at our blacks and what we're doing. You know what you're doing? You're putting us on like a fucking sideshow so that you can get credit. The illusion of caring. That's what it is. Let's call it what it is. If you don't see how much they're playing you for a fucking fool, I don't know what else to tell you. Obviously, at this point in this video, it wasn't meant for you to understand. But don't get it fucking twisted. They know what the fuck they're doing. Companies have done this shit for years and years. You still see it in commercials to these days. Commercials, and music, and fashion, and movies, and everything you fucking see. You think if somebody's going to rap about Doritos, you really think I give a fuck if X amount of rappers rap about Doritos? No. But they want to tap into the culture because they want the demographic. Understand the statistical backup to this. All the shit that they have. We've seen this from time to time again. And the gaming industry is no different. No different. Like I said, they want to act like they care and everything. They really don't. They just want to, they said, at this point, They just want to use you so that they can get more popular. That's all it is. And if you want to sit here and say, well, fuck white supremacists, well, then you know what? I say go fuck yourself then, because you're right there with them. Right there with them. It's unreal. Speaking of more of this control, all right, of black people or minorities, all right, shall we talk about Samurai Shodown? That's right. For those who don't know, Samurai Shodown adds a new character, Darley Dagger, right? New character. For those who do not know what Darley Dagger looks like, all right, this is what she looks like. Now, you would think, because we're not sure exactly what type of nationality she is. Some were saying she's black. Some were saying that she was Brazilian. So people were just saying, they were celebrating, the design, the character, and saying, hey, strong brown girls, because no one knows exactly her nationality. So they just labeled her strong brown girls. Hey, that's cool. I'm for that. I don't have a problem with that. You know what I mean? But there's some people who do. That's right. Leave it the reset era. That's right. To try and take something that's positive, all right, and diverse, because that's what you keep screaming, right? Diversity, diversity, diversity. And then you start finding reasons to pick her the fuck apart. First person's like, I don't like the design. What the fuck is the problem with the design? What's the problem? First off, that's an opinion. That you don't like the design, that's fine. But the person said, I'll wait to see how she plays. First off, doesn't matter how she plays. You're saying it's a design problem. So what does it matter how she plays? Your beef is with the design, not the gameplay. This is the shit I'm talking about. What's wrong with the design? Oh, I forgot. They don't go into why they have a problem with the design. Just, I don't like the design. Well, tell me why. What's wrong? What's wrong with it? All right? And the other person's like, well, she looks like something that's Christina Aguilera would wear at some type of, award ceremony. Who gives? Shut the fuck up, motherfucker. That's all you worried about. You are looking for reasons to knock her the fuck down. That's all it is. Who gives a fuck about Christina Aguilera? All right? Oh, but it looks like something she would wear. This person is just... I want to make it very well known that if you haven't realized, I want to make this, stand this out. This design that we have seen, there's nothing wrong with this design, okay? But all they're saying is, I don't like the design. She looks like Christina Aguilera. So let me get straight. We're just going to ignore the big fucking sword that she has that looks like it'll saw anybody in half. We're going to ignore that shit. We're going to ignore that shit, right? Let's just talk about her clothing and her design. Shut the fuck up. Seriously, these motherfuckers, man. I swear to... Oh, my God. But there's more. There is more. That's right. Here's more what they had to say about, Darley Dagger. I was going to say Darley Dagger. See, the shit just gets worse with the fucking complaining because they have nothing to complain about. Well, is she a pirate? Well, she's a sailor. Well, what did the pirates do? Take her clothes? There's nothing fucking wrong with the fucking clothes. Why don't we just put a burqa on her? How about that? Would that make you fucking happy? Because that's what it seems like. And I'm telling y'all now, we're not going to talk about Mortal Kombat today and everything. I'm so sick of seeing it. I'm so sick of hearing from people about it. And there's other idiots on YouTube who still get this shit wrong, and yet y'all still fucking praise them. As far as I'm concerned, there's nothing wrong with the fucking design. If this is what they want to do, let them go. If you haven't realized, in Samurai Shodown, you have a number of nationalities, and they come from different persons. You know what? I didn't see any complaining about Tam Tam and Cham Cham. I didn't say anything about that. Nah, but here you gonna complain, right? Yeah, you gonna complain now. This is fucking ridiculous. And then the last one, they had to post Queen Anita. I was Queen Anita. She was waiting for the savior, right? That's what you want. Well, exotic. It's not, exotic. That's not what you're supposed to do. First off, Anita, who the fuck are you to tell anybody what they can use, exotic or not? Huh? I'm just wondering. Because you're not exotic. You don't speak for those people who are exotic or from other countries. You don't speak for them. You don't get the right to do that. Again, control. Supremacy. You're going to tell these people, all right, of course, Japanese developers, but they're bringing different nationalities, inclusive, mind you. And you're going to tell them, oh no, we don't like this, you got to change this. We want the control. I don't like this because it doesn't fit what I feel it should be. Are you fucking serious? She's way too exotic looking and sexy. Well, it's not my fault that you're not exotic looking and sexy. It's like, seriously, what the fuck? Y'all understand at the end of the day, all these games are fantasy. They're fantasy. So they can go as far as they fucking want. Understand that? You don't represent what you call exotic. Why don't you let the people who are exotic in your, in your statements, why don't you let them judge it? How about that? How about you stay in your lane and shut the fuck up? There's the same Anita who also said that, hey, we're not coming for your video games. We just want to clean it up a bit, with the sexism. And then what her narrative turned to? Oh, there's too much violence in Doom. Mind you, this is the same person who took a photo op with Doom, all right, that she owned it. I'm not trying to hear the bullshit, all right? The same Anita who tried to talk about Rainbow Six and say, they finally have female protagonists in Siege. And then I did a video showing y'all that they've always had female protagonists in Siege. I haven't played as one. She don't know what the fuck she's talking about. And these idiots are going to sit here and slurp up everything she fucking says. It's disgusting. This is what I said. Reset error. This is why I show y'all what they talk about. Because they don't know fucking video games. They think that they can be an authority. And like I said, I don't think they play games. They just bitch about games. And they bitch about designs. And they nitpick here and fucking there. You notice when we complain about something, hey man, that gameplay, that's got to be fixed or something. Shut up, you entitled man babies! That's what they say. Oh, whoa. Shadows died twice. The difficulty. Oh no, we need a new one. We demand. We're going to shame the developers until they change it and give us an easy mode. It should be for your fans. The fans ain't asking for it. You're asking for it, journalists. It's unreal of the bullshit that we have seen. And it's frankly, it's appalling. It is. Like I said, what's good for one isn't good for the other, apparently. So when you complain, shut up, shit lord, you sexist, you supremacist, you Uncle Tom, you blah, 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 man, baby, whatever they want to call you, vocal minority, whatever the fuck they want to call you. Remember, they used to use that shit a lot. They'll call you whatever. But as soon as they want to do it, it's okay. It's cool. They can do it. You know how much arrogance that fucking takes? Horrible. But we're going to move on. Samurai Shodown. That's right. Again, there's a Neo Geo collection announced for PC and consoles. Let me tell y'all now, the news that y'all getting, I was very wary about this because some of it came out on April 1st, and I was like, yo, what's April Fool's Day? I'm backing off a bit. You know what I mean? Until something's confirmed. But let's move on, and I want to fucking talk about this shit. I really want to. Borderlands 3. First off, I guess I could say this. Fuck Borderlands. I don't give a fuck if you like it or not. Alright? All these people, after it's been announced, oh my god, I can't wait for Borderlands 3. Oh my god. I don't give a fuck. You want to know why? Because you're supporting a fucking dumbass company with a CEO who does not give a shit about you, me, or any other fucking company. And we've seen it. And for those who don't know, the information will be in the description field for you. So, let's talk about Borderlands 3 since it seems like a lot of people have, again, the memory of goldfish. Okay? Borderlands 3 has been announced. But what about Randy Pitchford? What about him? We're talking about a man who siphoned $12 million out of his own company in bonuses, right? Siphoned that much. Then tried to blame his assistant for taking $3 million. I'm not trying to hear that shit. So you know, there's a lawsuit going on for that, okay? Not to mention, Randy Pitchford, okay, lost his USB drive with underage porn on it. So, kitty diddler. That's what he is. Alright? He's a pedophile. And for some reason, still not outed from this community. Still not outed from the industry. Gamers are just going to forget about that shit and say, I want my Borderlands because I want my crack. That's what it is. Okay? Not only that, Randy Pitchford, the same Randy Pitchford who was trying to tweet out Battleborn porn not too long ago. Not going to forget about that. Should we even bring up Aliens, Colonial Marines, and what he did with that? And fucked over Sega? You know what? There's too many issues with Randy Pitchford. Let him go back on stage and get on his little fucking guitar and make songs about Gamergate as far as I'm concerned. Let him do that shit. How about that? Alright? Fuck Randy Pitchford. Fuck Gearbox. I don't give a fuck about Boarderlands. Alright? There's too much history of them fucking over consumers and, from a moral standpoint, what the fuck Randy does. Disgusting, dude. How do you have underage porn on your fucking USB drive? Kitty porn. Dog. Nah, couldn't be me. Couldn't be me. But for some reason, we're supposed to forget all that. We're seeing a lot of pedophiles in this community or in the industry getting free fucking passes. And I don't understand that. I don't. But there's more. That's right. Because Borderlands, he said, is going to be, Epic Games has made, when it comes to Borderlands, Gearbox made it. I guarantee you, I'm going to put money on it and say that Borderlands 3 will be an Epic Games Store. And y'all already know the problems with Epic Games Store. But here's something that we need to have a talk about that has surfaced so many different times, and for some reason, people keep taking this as gospel. And I don't understand why. The media has never questioned them for some reason when they say this shit. First off, Tim Sweeney, suck a dick. Suck all the dicks for what you said, alright, about gamers. But here's what y'all need to see. This is what he said in the interview about, how Epic Games Store and how if you want better games, you gotta go digital and all this. This is exactly what he said. That last paragraph is so fucking delusional, it pisses me off so much. If gamers, if they want their hard-earned money, spent correctly, then go right to developers so they can make better products at cheaper prices, then something has to happen. Fuck you, motherfucker. I keep saying this because you should know. People, we've heard this since the PSP days, have we not? Raise your hand if you've seen digital games that are the same fucking price as physical games. The same game. Alright, if not more. Alright. I don't want to hear that developers, we need digital, and it will lower the cost on manufacturing. That's what they told us back in the day. Alright? And the shit still isn't any cheaper. It's not. And for you to say, well, if you want, games for lower the price, can't be lower the price if you're always hitting us with microtransactions. If you're always hitting us up with DLC. If you're always, look, man, I'm not trying to fucking hear this shit. Season passes and bullshit. Game of the Year editions and bullshit. Fuck you. Alright? That's simple. You can't sit here and tell me that that's okay. And I'm usually leaning towards Game of the Year editions usually because they give you all the content in one shot. But it always takes a while to get that Game of the Year edition. As far as I'm concerned, you have used the same excuse other companies have used for almost what, decade? Is it almost been a decade now? And nothing has changed in the market. Nothing. And you're going to sit here and still peddle this bullshit. And the fact that the fucking interviewer didn't say, wait a minute, we've heard this before and nothing's changed. Why all of a sudden will this be any different? That's all you had to say. Nope. Nope. Not at all. So as far as I'm concerned, these comments, alright, misleading, blatant lying, blatant bullshit, and them hoping that you, the gamer, buy into it. By the way, Epic Games Store can suck a dick. Alright? Suck a dick. But it will be better for you. It won't take up so much. We're going to give you awesome. Again, raise your hand if you've ever seen, Gears of War 4, if you downloaded it digitally, and you saw how much the gigs for it was. How many games we've seen are just uncompressed files that just take up all your fucking hard drive? Oh, but we can offer a 1 terabyte or a 2 terabyte or a 3 terabyte. Who'd have thought that we'd be at this point these days where these games are so big and so uncompressed that we need terabytes? 1 terabyte at one point, you'd be like, yo, that should be more than enough. That should be good. Before you know it, nope, amping up more. The price of your consoles go up. The price of your games go up. Maybe if you didn't try to do everything and have everything look like a fucking movie, this wouldn't be that much of a problem. Tone down on the graphics some. Oh, did I just say that? Oh, that's going to hurt a lot of people's feelings, aren't they? Tone down on the graphics. Yeah, a lot of y'all bought into the graphics bullshit because that's what developers wanted you to do. And you didn't need it. You can't even tell a lot of this shit. You can't. Some of those things you can look and say, yo, that's beautiful. But if you need a good example, what I mean of developers working hard as opposed to cost as the other games, we can always look back at last generation with the PS3. Uncharted looked beautiful for its time. Still looks beautiful if you ask me. Even though it's had HD remakes or whatever, looked beautiful. And you saw what happened when people took their time and made games. Remember, before we were just getting shitty ports from third-party games, but it looked great on Microsoft 360, but it looked horrible on the PS3. Just shitty ports because people weren't taking their time. But you had a company who actually learned the structure of the stuff and actually did a great job, and it didn't cost you any more, did it? $60? Okay, alright, whatever. You're trying to make the standard, even though some of these games, like fighting games, should be $40 fucking dollars, especially with the way they fucking put a gag in your mouth and try to hit you a season pass over and over and over. No one wants to talk about that shit. Nope. Well, what do you think? They're going to make this shit for free? How about you just give us the standard roster? You take your time even longer and give us a good roster and then call it a day. How about that? No. Can't do that the right way. No. Can't go that far, like it used to be. No, can't do that. No. Let me just give you a shiny trailer and you'll get hyped for it, and then all of a sudden you'll find it acceptable, won't you? Let's move on about HD remakes. This was also on April 1st, which had me a little skeptical, but it seems like it's real, okay? Suikoden 1 and 2 HD remakes have been announced on all platforms. If you have not played Suikoden, by all means, this is your way to do it, because they're adding a number of new goodies in this. All voice acting for characters. They're going to have, new dungeons and new DLC stuff. It's all going to be in this game. That's right, they're going to add to the experience. And Konami is saying, if this game does well, which I do not like the way they do this, but okay, I understand what you're trying to do. You're trying to fill out the market, because these are tactics these days. If this HD remake sells well, 1 and 2 sell well, they will think about making another installment into Suikoden. That's right. That's what they're saying. And more news. R-Type Final 3 has been announced for the PS4. That's right. Where is it? Final 2. Sorry, Final 2. For the PS4, and it looks amazing. It looks amazing. I cannot wait for R-Type. This looks great. I'm a big-time side-scrolling shooter. Love it. I can't wait for R-Type. Classic. And more good news. We just got finished talking about DLC, did we not? But this was a licensing issue, and now it's been approved. Ash vs. Evil Dead DLC is coming to Dead by Daylight. That's right. So, get ready. I'm sure it's going to be groovy. So, let's keep it moving. Here's something that we need to have a talk about. Devil May Cry. That's right. I've been talking about this for 3 weeks. At this point, I should have just made a standalone video. Devil May Cry 5. As you know, yesterday, DLC came out for Bloody Palace, right? Everyone's happy, everyone's excited. What people didn't know is that all the lens flare that you were getting from the women's asses, Sony has now fixed that. So now it makes me question, what the fuck, Sony? Why'd you do it in the first place? Only to take it away a couple weeks later. I don't understand that. However, it's only been for the U.S. Apparently people over in, in the UK and EU, they have not got that, that lens flare blindingness taken away yet. Yeah. So now they're being very selective. I don't know what's going on in the Sony camp. I don't know if they're just sitting around the boardroom and just doing lines, but you gotta be kidding me. You should have just made it universal. First off, it shouldn't have happened in the first place. It shouldn't have. Alright? It's an M-rated game. But now you're trying to fix your ways, but you half-ass fixed it because not everyone can experience it. I don't understand it. I just don't. But there's more news. That's right. For those who don't know, the journalists are back, and they're going to try and tear apart Devil May Cry 5, because now they're screaming, toxic masculinity. Toxic masculinity, you say? That's what we're going to go with. You are just looking to find something because you can't find a reason to be mad at Devil May Cry. Alright, I put it like this. Alright? When DMC, and we talked about this before, when DMC came out, it had loads of sexism and loads of toxic masculinity, and not once did you motherfuckers have the words to say this is wrong. No, you praise this shit to the moon. This is what we've been waiting for. With a rebel yell and all this other bullshit, and anybody who doesn't like this game, you're just a vocal minority and you shouldn't be paid attention to. And I stepped up and said, you know what? Fuck you. That's what I did. And I went by the numbers, and people was like, oh, something's up. So now you're telling me Devil May Cry is released, and now you want to talk about toxic masculinity? Now? That's what you want to do now? Didn't do it before. Now you want to do it because you want clicks, because you think it's a hot button topic that you need that clicks. You need that attention. Well, guess what, sweetheart? I got your number on this one because the same person who said that shit, this person doesn't even like playing fucking video games. That's right. They don't like it. Yeah, they don't like it. Here's what she said. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. As the person just said, it says, if anything, actually, playing is probably my least favorite part because reviewing is like a race with no winner. So because these people have problems with the games because they can't play them fast enough to get their little bullshit articles out so that they can get paid, now they gotta find another angle so people can listen to them and get paid. So, toxic masculinity. Look, I put it like this. If you don't like your fucking job of playing video games, easiest job in the fucking world you got right now. Alright? Could be outside shoveling shit for $5 an hour, okay? All you got to do is sit down, play a fucking game, and review it. And apparently, it's too hard. Are you fucking serious? Are you serious? It's the least thing I like to do because it's a race. Because I have to blow through it as fast as possible and I get nothing out of it. You are in the wrong business. It almost feels like you're a failed journalist at anything else when it comes to real journalism, and you fell back on video games, and you can't even call this a journal. Like, I'll put it like this. We've talked about this before. You can't call this journalism. Alright? These are columnist pieces. Because it's always about their opinion. I. If you notice, what you're seeing in these tweets and these articles that I've shown you, these headers, it's always about I. Journalists will give you the facts and try to keep it neutral, non-biased. They don't give a shit about their feelings when it comes to, articles. They don't. These people are glorified columnists. They are. And they're horrible at their job. I don't even say a step columnists. You're just lowly bloggers just trying to scrape by. And you will do anything to get those clicks. I mean, we just saw Eurogamer, last night, talk about how they really depend on hate clicks. It goes to show you what these companies are about. It's like they blatantly came out and said that shit. Like I said, it goes to show you what these companies are about. They should not get support. These journalists should not get support. Anybody, in this case, when they start acting this way and they start demanding shit, and they're not a consumer or a customer, and they get these games for free, all you got to do is fucking review it. You get an advanced copy, and you can't even do what you need to do. You don't deserve your job. Like I said, you are not investing in your craft, which means you'll never be good at your job. It's still a competition to work. I don't think a lot of people understand it, but these are from people, like I said, who have never had any type of hard life as far as I'm concerned, because they would know what the game is by now. They would know that by now. Now, when I mean game, I don't mean the one they're playing. I mean the one that they're trying to work and live off of. It's disgusting to watch. And they think that they half-ass something and then just make up a bunch of gobbly bullshit that's going to be enough to get them paid. That's bullshit. And she says herself, they just think that it's, you're paying to play games. And she's like, actually, it's quite opposite. I don't like to play games. Look, at the end of the day, you're still having a luxury. If all you can do is bitch and moan about how hard a game is, and you're going to write an article on that, you pretty much got it fucking made. I'm just saying, that's not life-changing, that's not suffering, you've got a cushy job. And if you can't do that well then you don't need to be in it. You deserve to get fired. That's how I feel. Every fucking time. If you're not going to put in the work and learn your craft better, then fuck off. But, I know I talked about, I'm going to end this real quick on this last thing. I don't know if y'all know or not. We talked about pedophiles not too long ago. And the community has caught pedophiles. That's right. Pedophiles have been exposed in the Pokemon community. That's right, in the gaming community. All right? And before it was, you say, well, are you sure you got proof? No, these people have proof. They have proof of it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the video in the description field. And also, I'm going to put the details, of said, problems in the description field as well. These YouTubers are pretty much, for what I'm get at is, they're just using each other for money. And then you have guys who are actually trying to lure 16-year-old girls to, to sleep with them. And other guys in their friend circle are like, hey, man, you can't do that. That's wrong. Cut it out. But then the people keep trying to do it. And instead of reporting them, you just let that shit ride. So it seems like a lot of people are responsible in this situation. I feel it's disgusting. The Pokemon community seems to be a little bit rocked right now by it. But here's the thing. You get them. Listen, I said this on Twitter. I will say it again. It's not just about trial by public. You can't say, this guy's a pedophile, and this is how he tried to lure me, and this is how he tried to, to get into my head and bait me to do this, and try to control me to do this. You're going to have to go to the fucking authorities. You can't just rely on Twitter justice, and put it out there, and all the proof out there, and expect people to be enraged and say, you're ousted from the community. That will be enough. No, what he's doing is a crime. Okay? A crime. So, you go to the authorities. And it seems like a lot of people aren't doing that. Are there a lot, I'm just saying, it seems like there's a lot of people who are really fucking stupid not to go to the authorities. And we're not talking about a woman who's embarrassed or afraid. No, I'm not even talking about just her. All right, we're talking about the group around this guy who knows what's going on. The people who see it and don't say shit. You know what I mean? They're just as bad. I feel bad for the Pokemon community because when I found out this stuff, they had just found out as well, and I was like, oh shit, you know what I mean? But we're seeing so much of this happen as a league. I don't know what's going on when it comes to this. The pedophiles just walking in and just thinking they can do what they want, and and a lot of them get away with it for a very long time. We even have people who are registered sex offenders who, for some reason, are still allowed in this community. And I know some of y'all are going to say, well, Event, that sounds a lot like gatekeeping. You're fucking right it does. From bad people like that. I'm not just saying, oh, well, that guy's a fraud or whatever. I'm not talking about that shit. No, I'm talking about people who are actually, like I said, they're registered sex offenders, they're registered pedophiles, and you're letting them go in. That's bullshit. And you know what pisses me off about all this? You have to understand, I'm really trying to calm myself down here. You have to understand that everything I have told you today, you're not going to get anywhere the fuck else like this. You're not going to get on an attack like this. Pooge is not going to attack like this. Markiplier's going to attack like this. Boogie's not going to attack like this. Hip Hop Gamer ain't going to attack like this. None of these people, alright, that get praised to the fucking moon are going to give it to you to the real the way I do. Why? Because they don't have the fucking heart. They don't have the fucking spine. We got motherfuckers all of a sudden coming out. Well, if you're having a wedding and you want me to say hello, it'll cost you $20. That's what they're worried about right now. This is what our community has turned into. If you haven't realized it. But all those call-outs, all that proof you saw today, I'm still going to be the guy that people hate. And like again, I'll say it again, all right? If you didn't do this shit on your own and get caught, all right, I wouldn't have anything to talk about now, would I? All right then. So don't blame the messenger. But understand, you done fucked up. And when you fuck up like that, you got to accept that responsibility. But like I said, the authorities got to be called on shit like this. You just don't let it say, okay, well, he's kicked out of our community, that's it. He's just going to go, he or she is just going to go to another community and do the same thing. They don't know about him. And yes, it wasn't just a man, it was women too. Just to let you know that. You got to be very well. I keep telling y'all every time, be careful who you trust on here. Or if you need to, trust nobody. Be very careful. Anyways, I'm done for today. I hope y'all have fun playing video games. You know, this shit just gets worse and worse every time I do a video. This is just, to me, this was disgusting. There's a lot of things I didn't touch on. I didn't touch on the new Google stuff. I didn't touch on what Cliffy B said or David Jaffe said. Maybe I'll talk about that next time. Alright? For more exposure. Because I'll expose the fuck out of them. But at the end of the day, man, I hope y'all see this shit for what it is. I really do. And if you don't, hey man, like again, it wasn't meant for you to understand. But as far as I'm concerned, this shit is clear. Crystal fucking clear. Know who on your side. Tim Schafer ain't on your side. Alright? Microsoft ain't on your side. None of these journalists is on your side. Epic Games ain't on your side. Tim Sweeney ain't on your side. It's absolutely ridiculous. This is what you're seeing right now. They just want you to shut the fuck up, let them control you, or just consume. Just keep consuming. They don't want you to have a brain of your own. But as soon as somebody does have a brain and speaks the fuck out and says, yeah, I see you for what you are, you piece of shit, then it's a problem. Oh, no, we got to do something about that. We got to throw him under the bus. We got to discredit him. Doesn't matter what community I talk about. Again, it is my truth versus your bullshit lies. I see right the fuck through you. Anyways, I will talk to y'all till next time. Y'all be safe. I'm definitely back. I told y'all before, I'm back. There's hell to pay. I'll talk to y'all then. I'm out.